and welcome to another installment of the Lone Angler podcast. If you're new here, it's a little podcast out of Bemidji, Minnesota. Yeah, I try to spell that one. It's way up here in northern Minnesota. We're about 110 miles south of the Canadian border. Yeah, where it gets nice and cold, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. If you're new here, please consider following along with this podcast if it's something you enjoy. I like to talk a lot about fishing. And then, I'm just one of those type of people that I kind of have my hands in a little bit of everything. I do a lot of drawing. I do some 3D printing. I do product design, for a living. The product that I design happen to be, fish houses, the permanent ones that lower down hydraulically onto the ice. Yeah, I help design those things. That's my 9-to-5er, I should say. But yeah, and I'm kind of into a little bit of everything. Star Wars, big time. I'm a kind of a Star Wars geek. Not a big fan of the Book of Boba Fett. You know what? I've liked all the movies. I've liked all the TV stuff so far. It's going to happen. The odds are just are just there for me to not like something. It's got its moments of coolness. Very short season, 7 episodes, which is fine with me. I'm glad it's kind of over. Now I'll let it rest. I'll kind of forget about it, maybe rewatch it, and I might have a different opinion about it, but as it stands right now, not a huge fan of it. It just, I built it up too much in my head because he's one of my favorite characters, but anyway, that's a little bit about me. The fishing that I like to talk about is, fishing in northern Minnesota. But I have a tendency to have my favorites. I like a lot of the, what do I call them, unwanted fish. I have a deep passion for, rock bass, bowfin, burbot, suckers. That type of stuff, sheep's head, the quote unquote rough fish of Minnesota, which is changing, but yeah. And then, I'm a flow tube fisherman. I'm proud to say that. I've talked about that quite a bit. We'll touch on a little bit of that coming up here too on this episode. But, my recent, venture in the fly fishing or in the fishing world is into fly fishing. It's something that I dabbled with over the years here and there, kind of half-assed, do it for, half a day for over a couple weeks or something. And blah, I would just kind of give it up. But this time around, it's a little bit different. I'm kind of all in this winter. I've been tying up ice jigs, but I've only been ice fishing like 3 times this winter. This winter's been brutal on me in my bad knees. But I got a nice fly tie-in set up now, and I'm going to continue to work on some flies as we start to hopefully wrap up winter, which, it seems like winter never ends. And the older I get, the more bitter I get about winter. I was actually just sitting in my car after the gym the other day, just watching the wind just blow like crazy, and it was like whiteout conditions, and I thought to myself, if I feel this way next winter, there might be a bunch of ice fishing stuff for sale. I'm not joking. I don't know if I'm just need a break from it or what the deal is, but I just have zero desire to go outside and ice fish. The 3 times I went, it was fun, but you damn near needed a crowbar to pry me out of this apartment or out of the gym to make that happen. And I'm just kind of tired of the extra work, and it's just not fun for me right now. And that kind of thing, those kind of things happen with me. Sometimes I just need to take a long break. I don't think I'll ever quit ice fishing. I just said I might have a bunch of shit for sale. I wouldn't sell everything that I have, but I do have a lot of stuff that's just brand new and it's not even being used, and it's kind of a shame. But we'll see what happens. You know what? Before we get really into the meat of this episode, the heart of this episode, I want to give a big thank you to Panfish Pursuers P3 Plastics for supporting the Lone Angler. Great bunch of dudes. And also, they make some of the finest microplastics for ice fishing and finicky open water, bluegill, crappie fishing. They even have some bigger baits where they've scaled up a couple of their winter profiles. They made them a little bit bigger. And they also work well. I'm a big fan of using bigger baits, and especially in the summertime for big bluegills. Big bluegills aren't afraid of something that's a little bit what you would think is too big. So if you head on over to p-3plastics.com and you use the code SPUG15, it'll save yourself like 15% off your total order, man. They got pro packs there too. That's a good way to get started in the Panfish Pursuers system, if you will. I kind of call it a system. They've got a lot of great profiles and 1,000,000,000 colors. So yeah, you start building your system. That's the way I look at it. Also, thank you to Ridgetop Outdoors for supporting the Lone Angler. They're located right at Highway 2 and 71 South, right on the south edge of town. One-stop shop. If you forgot anything on your way to the lake, Justin's going to have it right there. I mean, jigs, line, hooks, live bait, crawlers, wax worms. You know, if you're going to go out burbot fishing, here's a little pro tip for you. Swing in there and ask for the dead minnows. That's all you need for burbot fishing. Don't need none of that fancy live stuff right now. But it doesn't hurt to pick those up. Doesn't hurt to pick that up either. So stop in at Ridgetop Outdoors and just tell them the Lone Angler sent you. But let's slide on into, let's get this podcast started.
When you wake up in the morning and you don't feel cold.
That's 2 inches bigger than my personal best.
As I mentioned earlier, do we even talk about the weather? You know, I'm hesitant because maybe I'm afraid of my own age. I think that's part of why I don't want to talk about it, but I do want to get it off my chest. It just flat out sucks, man. This has been like the weirdest and most brutal winter that I can think of in the last, I don't know, a few years. And maybe brutal is too strong of a word. How about the word extreme? I think that makes more sense to me. Weather patterns have been super weird. It's either been, 20 below zero with 40 mile an hour winds, bringing it to 40 below zero. And that'll go on for a couple of days. And then in a 12-hour period, it'll go up to 20, 25, 30 above zero. So 70-degree temperature swings in 12 hours. And if you have any sort of arthritis like I do, there I go, like an old man, it wreaks havoc on your body. It just, joints just don't want to bend and it just hurts. And it's been like that on and off all winter. And when it warms up, we're getting snow. And that we're just about into March now. And usually March is our snowiest month. And we're starting to see that. I mean, we just got whiteout conditions last Friday, which I'm going to look at the old watch here. So that'd have been the 18th. I think it was 18th. I get out of work at noon, 12 noon, lunchtime. I'm cruising north on 71 to come back into town, and I almost had to pull over because we had whiteout conditions at noon. Every time I came to an open field, I lost the road. Just crazy stuff like that. The wind has been absolutely horrendous. Getting out on the lakes is getting really, really tough with all the drifts from all the massive amounts of wind. And it's just, the weather sucks. And I'm really starting to take on that, man, I really need to work hard to make this snowbird life happen at some point. Sitting around in late fall and I see, there's some snowflakes coming. time to buy the plane ticket, and I'll come back in May. I just keep thinking about it. I think that would be absolutely spectacular. Speaking of plane tickets, I'm out of here. Actually, I'm really looking forward to this, and this might help me get through some of this, the rest of winter. But I'm going to be heading down to Tennessee to see my daughter, Ellen. Yep, I'm leaving on March 9th, and I'll be gone for about a week. So there won't be a podcast during that week. I'll be enjoying my time with her. She has no idea that I'm coming down. I don't think she listens to this podcast. She's done a few of them with me, so I have no idea. Hopefully I didn't ruin the surprise myself. But yeah, she lives down in Tennessee. I've talked about it before, but I think this trip down, I'm going to try to take her out, and we're going to go try to find some fly fishing shops. I know there's some around the Nashville area, so I'm going to do a little Googling. I'm going to make a little list, and if she's interested to go and check those out, I think we'll try to do that. I know I want to, and she has been asking about fly fishing, which it kind of brings a smile to my face at the same time. I'm going to adjust this microphone just a little bit. There we go. She's also a super sweet girl, and she is into a lot of the things that I'm into, which is really cute. So I don't know if she really is interested in fly fishing or if she's just really interested in it because Dad's trying to do it. Either way, I will feed this interest and see if she wants to do this. But I think it'd be really cool if the both of us would learn how to do this fly fishing together. I'm still working on my casting. I can help her out in the very beginning, and then we're both on the same road of learning. So we'll see what happens. But she took a look at the fly tying bench when she was here at Christmas time. Or no, maybe I don't know if I had the bench here or not. I think I did. And she was checking it out, and I sat down with her. Yes, I did have the fly tying bench because I sat down with her, and we tied up some little ice fishing jigs that I've been making out of the slotted tungsten beads and whatnot. And Ellen's very art-based like her dad, and she's very creative. She's got that creative brain, and so whenever she's making something like that, she gets a real big interest in it. So who knows? I could end up having another vise here. Well, I do have another vise, but I'm going to get her another. I'll get her a rotary vise if she wants one. But that would be cool. Rainy days, father-daughter fly tying. That'd be awesome. That'd be super cool. Speaking of fly tying, and one of my sponsors, Ridgetop Outdoors, I messaged Justin, he's the owner, the other day, and I had an idea. And so if you are in the Bemidji area and you're listening to this podcast, if you are interested in fly tying and would like to maybe have a spot to go to on one night every other week to gather up with a bunch of other fly tyers and do some tying, send me a DM on Instagram and let me know if you'd be interested in something like that. I know there's a fly tying, there's some fly tyers in town that get together, or they used to get together at a bar in the back room of some bar. And they get together, and I've heard that it's still going on. I heard it isn't going on anymore. I don't know, but I just think it'd be kind of cool, because if you got a bunch of guys that are tying up flies together, I mean, you can learn a bunch of stuff. I know I needed to learn a bunch of stuff, but when you get all the creative minds in one building, man, all kinds of cool things can happen. So if you are a fly tyer in the Bemidji area and you're listening to the Lone Angler here, shoot me a message on Instagram, or, in the description of each episode of this podcast is the Lone Angler's email. You can shoot me an email too. So that's written down in there, but I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm telling you, man, this addiction to sparkling water is something else. I don't know. Yeah. So, and yeah, sending me a message on Instagram, it would be the best way to get a hold of me, period. Because I'm no longer on Facebook, and it's been 2 weeks, maybe a little bit over or a little bit under, but around 2 weeks. And yeah, I officially deleted the app off my phone now. It was a kind of it was kind of strange at first. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything because that's why I left in the first place. But just muscle memory, I'd open the app and then it'd be like, oh, you got to log in. I don't remember my login. So my password anyway. And so I just, exit out of it. And I haven't been doing that for about a week. So it's just it was time to get rid of the app off the phone. And I'll tell you what, man, I really don't miss it. If you're on Facebook, that's fine. That's everybody is entitled to their own things, man. It just, I was on there for 14 years and I'd had enough. I got nothing from it anymore. It was the kind of the same stuff. But with that being said, I've had a TikTok for a couple of years now, and I'm starting to do more on TikTok, which is really a lot of fun. Yeah, there's a lot of really crazy shit on there. There's some funny stuff. There's ridiculous things. I mean, there's really sketchy shit on there too, but that's the internet. But the communities that I've found on TikTok have been really, really cool. And when I say communities, they're people that I'm following, people with that have interests like mine. I'm following, I don't know, 5 or 6 different fly tires, and they are just cool dudes, man, and girls too, which is awesome. I mean, they're just cool people. They're regular people. They're making cool shit. They're making up their own stuff. They always got cool videos, pretty sweet music, and I might try to make a little fly tying video. I'm also following a lot of really cool 3D printing people, which is something that we're going to talk about here in a short second, but really tight-knit communities. And, you start messaging these people, and it's cool to see somebody that's got, 500,000 followers shoot you a message back. That's pretty badass. Especially when you're trying to troubleshoot taking apart a 3D printer. So Pink Lemonade for the save, and Uncle Jesse for the save as well. So those are both bigger names in the 3D printing world. But yeah, I decided that this past weekend, I was going to start putting more content up there. I mean, I have a little bit of stuff, and I was kind of scrolling through my catalog of little videos, and my page kind of reflects who I am, man. I've got some podcasting stuff up there. I got some flow tubing stuff. I got some daughter stuff. I've got some 3D printing stuff. I've even got some drawing stuff. So those are all things that I'm really, really passionate about and really enjoy. So, if you have a TikTok and you want to follow me, just search out The Lone Angler on TikTok, and that'd be cool, man. I'd love to have you there. But yeah, I have no desire to go back to Facebook. I don't think I'm missing anything out. I mean, I didn't delete my account. I found out if you delete your account, you lose Messenger, and Messenger, man, I still get a lot of people that's how they get a hold of me, or that's how I talk to them. I don't have their cell number or anything like that. So I may even do a mass. I don't know. That might piss a lot of people off. Let me think about that for a second. I was thinking about just doing a mass a message type thing. Hey, if you need to get a hold of me, this is how you get a hold of me. But maybe I won't, because I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to figure it out. But I'd eventually like to delete Messenger. I guess it really wouldn't hurt to keep it around, but But yeah, so, there's my internet life rundown, if you will. Yeah, who really cares? I don't know. I shouldn't say, well, yeah, no, it's been difficult. I actually have a guest lined up coming up here. He's been kind of busy. He's got a little one on the way, but it's going to be a super cool episode, and that's going to be coming up here in a little while. We're going to just try to connect. You got to find that time, and that's kind of the challenge if you're doing a fishing podcast is finding these guys you want to talk to and for them to find the time to do it. So I'm always pretty chill. Well, you got to be. I don't want to force them into anything, so when they find the time, they'll find the time, and that poses kind of a little bit of a challenge. So every once in a while, you got to do these solo ones like this one. And I don't know, I'm getting more and more comfortable doing them, the solo ones. I don't know. I haven't had anybody email me or message me that I suck, which even if you did, I'd still do them. So you gotta kind of do it, if you want to keep the train a rolling. What else have I been up to? I haven't been ice fishing. Crafty's been out doing a little bit of burbot fishing, or he tried to. Him and Jake, remember Jake, the Stone Cold Rocket? Yeah, he's still around. He's just busy, man. He's changing careers and stuff like that, but he's been a fishing maniac, and those boys went out last week, one evening, and they absolutely zeroed. So, with the weather patterns the way they are, it does not surprise me. Crafty and I also went out bluegill fishing one evening, and we fished well into the night. Well, there again, it was raining. It was raining that night, and this was like a week and a half ago. Right, exactly. And we zeroed as well. So, yeah. So in the meantime, since I'm not doing a whole lot of ice fishing, I've taken on a little bit of a project, and this is kind of a personal thing for me. So just bear with me. We're going to kind of drift out of the fishing world, and we're going to get into a little bit of health. I'll give you a little bit of backstory. I have been a big boy my whole entire life. No joke. I remember going out for wrestling in like 5th grade, and I was 168 pounds. And I was like 5'7", something like that. 5'5". I was a little fat kid, but I was tall. I was big boy. I've always been a big boy. And about, I'd say 3 years ago, I was pretty dead set on getting both my knees replaced. I've had to have them replaced for a long time. There's just no cartilage left in them. And it's from carrying around this weight and, standing on concrete, working jobs and, lifting weights in high school and stuff like that. They're pretty much destroyed. And I've always struggled with my weight, up and down. And matter of fact, when I moved back to Bemidji in 2016, January of 2016, I was, I'd gotten down to like 246 pounds, which I felt great. I really did. I felt really, really good. And then, just life, man. I have no excuse. I'm not going to try to lay out an excuse. I just got lazy. Stopped going to the gym. I had a big financial change. I'd just gone through a divorce. Just trying to like rebuild my life, and I pushed the gym off to the side, and I didn't go back until November, I'd say December 2nd of 2021. Right. Yep. So I didn't go back to the gym until then, and I ballooned up. I got up to, I seen my scale hit 330 once. That kind of freaked me out. So I've always been able to maintain at that 320, 325, somewhere around in there. And I just got kind of sick of it. And after I had the little scare with COVID, what I felt was a little scare. It was an eye opener for me. I mean, here I had this thing, and I mean, I got through it just fine. But I had a really good friend that struggled with it, and he is still struggling. You know, he's out of the hospital and all that stuff now, but he came really close, and he's a big boy. And that just kind of lit a fire under my ass and woke my eyes up and said, hey, man, you need to start taking better care of yourself. And that's when I decided to join the gym, and I was doing some light workout stuff and whatnot, but I really hadn't dialed in my food. I was trying to watch what I was eating, but trying is the key word there. And I have another friend that recently joined a CrossFit gym. And I got to talking with him, and I actually reached out to him because he was telling me all this crazy shit he was doing and whatnot. And I'm in no shape to be doing CrossFit. But I reached out to him one night, and I said, Aaron, I need help, man. I need help with my food. And we talked for a long time that night. And the next morning, I got to work a little bit early. I opened up Microsoft Word, made myself a little chart, and I did what he told me to do. And that was to just eat like I normally eat, but log it. Find the nutritional information and log it. And you're going to do that for a week. And then you're going to look back and see what you've been eating and how you've been eating and what you've been doing. And it will jump out of the page at you as to what you need to change. And so I did that. And he was 100% correct. It jumped out at me. I need to clean this shit up. There's no way a 40 or 8-year-old man needs to be stopping and eating breakfast sandwiches from the gas station every morning and drinking, 60 ounces of Pepsi a day. Just don't need to be doing that. And there was a bunch of other stuff. Ice cream, Jimmy John's, Burger King, all that shit. And so I did that. I food journaled for a week, wrote down all the data. This is where I learned that data is some really cool shit. Once you know how to gather it and you start, add numbers and dividing things become very apparent. There's no lying in math. Anyway, the next step was to figure out my I can't remember what he called it, but I'm just going to call it like my current base calorie intake. If I wanted to stay at 325 pounds, this is the amount of calories I need to eat. No more, no less. And I said, well, how do I do that? And he's like, man, you need to get a body scan. And so we put our heads together, and they got a body scan deal down at the CrossFit here, the CrossFit box, as they call it here in Bemidji. But I'm not a member there. And I discovered that Profile, which is a Sanford product, they have a body scanner there. So I call them up. And this is kind of funny because here I thought I was going to have to sign up for like a year membership at this Profile and buy a bunch of their food and all this other kind of crap. I just wanted a scan. So I was honest when I called them up. I said, hey, I'm just looking for a body scan. That's it. How much is it? And she's like, oh, it's $40. I'm like, cool. I don't have to sign up for anything or anything like that. She's like, no, you can scan it. It's $40. So a few days later, there I am, no shirt on, standing behind this curtain, standing on this desk that's got a little motor in it. You rotate around, and there's these cameras and these sensors, and it scans you. It rotates you, scans you 360. So I get the scan done, and I talk with the guy there a little bit, tell him what I'm up to and stuff. And he's like, man, good luck, dude. Keep it up. This is a good step. I said, well, you need that data. And I needed like bone mass density, body percentage fat, all this kind of stuff. and measurements. It measures, all, around your legs, your arms, your chest, your hips, all that stuff, neck, the whole 9 yards. All this in this like scan. It takes like a minute. And I thought he was going to print it out for me right there, but he didn't. He said, it'll automatically email to me. And sure enough, a few minutes later, I get an email, download the PDF. I put it on my phone. I open it up, and some weird things happened. I got to see myself in like this 3D rendering, which my buddy Aaron was like worried about me because I was cracking some pretty dark jokes about myself. But it was the first time I'd seen myself in like a 3D rendering. And, you look at yourself in the mirror and you see you, and that's a 2D image. You're looking straight on at yourself. There's parts of you that no matter what you do, you cannot see. So when you get this scan, like I said, you get this rendering and it's just this gray figure. There's a small part of me that wants to still call them and see if I can get that file, and I'd print myself out on a 3D printer. But I don't know if I'm mentally ready for that, because it was kind of a shocker. I've never seen a full-on image of my back and whatnot. So anyway, I digress. We're going to move forward. Get the scan. I'm looking at the data. And now it was time to dial in the food, figure out what deficit I need to be in. And what's tricky about that is you don't want to, what I've learned, this is what I've learned. You want to lose weight, you got to go into a calorie deficit. But you cannot do it to an extreme. You can't go from eating 2,600, 2,700 calories to like 500, because what happens is you're going to destroy your metabolism doing that. And I've read a lot about that, and I've even asked a few dietitians about that. What happens is your body goes into starvation mode. So what I ended up figuring out was to eat around 500 to 700 calorie deficit from that. So that means that my old habits of waking up in the morning, brushing my teeth, throwing in a chew, heading to work, maybe eat a little bit of something from the gas station, and then not eating until supper time is a no-go. We got to start cooking. And I love to cook. It's a creative process. You're taking all of these things, putting them together to build one big thing, which is my jam. I love that shit. But I've got to be able to cook the right amount of stuff and the right foods. So, again, reaching out to a friend that's going through this, and he's already begun his journey, and he's learned from a lot of people as well. It's invaluable, and we're keeping each other in check. If we find something that's really good, and that's just so happened to me, Aaron sends me a link to a guy on TikTok called Tasty Shreds. And he lost a bunch of weight in a short period of time, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to change my habits, but high calorie or low calorie, high protein meals that he's making himself. The key part of this, of what really pulled me into this Tasty Shreds TikTok guy, was the fact that he is not a professional chef. And he's not going to weird, freaky grocery stores to get really obscure ingredients. Like he's shopping at Walmart, Aldi, Costco, all this stuff. What I've learned the most from him is how to read the nutritional information on packages. And lo and behold, he offers a cookbook that he's put together. And yeah, I sent him off the $20 and I got a PDF of that, and I've been making these meals, buffalo chicken wraps. You can't just buy the regular wraps. You're using the carb balance wraps, and chicken and turkey are protein kings. The name of the game, low calorie, high protein. That's what I'm doing. and increasing my exercise. So where am I at today? We're going to get back into fishing here in a minute, but I just want to get through this because I kind of want to put this out there to give myself a little bit of, I don't know, what do you call it? I need that, I want to be able to listen back to this and be like, yo, dude, you did this before. Hopefully I don't have to listen back to it, but credibility, that's what I'm looking for. Accountability, not credibility, accountability. That's why I'm talking about this right now. Anyway, so the scan told me I was 319. Okay. Now I plan on going back in 3 months. So around, let's see, May, I'm going to actually go back in 2 months. So April 4th is when I'm going to go back and do another scan and see where I'm at. But I have a scale here and I'm not too worried about what that number is. I want to see it decreasing, but we'll get into my end goal here in a minute. But happy to say that I'm down like 12, 13 pounds, give or take the accuracy of my scale. Oh, that's my boy Aaron calling right now. Calling back. So I've been doing this, the Tasty Shreds now for 3 weeks or so, 2 weeks. Been cooking, buying groceries, which has been awesome. The fact that, it's been kind of a shocker to me because I used to spend about, $60 for 2 weeks worth of groceries. Now I'm spending like 100, 120. But the thing of it is I'm not stopping at gas stations anymore, except for get a can of chew if I need it, or a zero calorie Monster once in a while for a little treat. Zero sugar, all that good stuff. The Monster in the white can. But yeah, so things are happening. Things are coming down. I've got a little bit more energy. I'm now consistently hitting that 3 times a week at the gym. And at the gym, all I'm doing is I'm doing some cardio stuff and just lifting weights lightly. I'm even working on the legs a little bit too. With the bad knees and everything, I actually had some people rush to my aid at the gym the other night. I did a little bit too much on the legs, and I looked like a newborn fawn, just standing there wiggling. I just couldn't get them under control. I mean, I wasn't going to black out or nothing like that, but they thought I was going to fall over. It was kind of funny. But everybody at the gym's really super cool. But yeah, so what my end goal is. There is really no end goal on this thing. I just want to change my habits for the rest of my life. And I'm not gonna put like some concrete number that I have to get to, because I've done that before and it just seems like it makes the road that much longer. So here's my hopes that when I go in 2 months of this body scan, I was at like 38.5% body fat. I would like to see 30%. That would be awesome. So that's what I'm working towards. That's it. I'm working at the percentage. I think all my life I've always worried about whatever that number is on the scale, and it's always been like the longest, hardest road ever. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look at that percentage number. Whatever on the weight. Matter of fact, if I really get into the weightlifting, my weight might not fall off, but the body fat percentage will fall off. Well, muscle weighs more than fat. So if I'm putting on muscle, hey, my weight might not be, I might not get down to what the doctors say, quote unquote, like 197 pounds. I probably wasn't 197 pounds until I'd be getting down to my like 7th grade weight, which would be pretty wild to say. But if I got 15% body fat and I'm 240 pounds, hey, I'm happy. As long as I feel good, that's all that matters to me. Other than the percentage, I could care less about numbers. So I don't know. So that's what I've really been doing this winter instead of ice fishing is getting my ass to the gym and trying to live a little bit longer. Yeah. 48's hit me kind of weird. It really, really, really has. It's been an eye-opener so far. I'm just looking here on my list of stuff that I was going to talk about. Oh, one more. Since I was talking about data before, I happened to look up, and the last 30 days I've taken 91,457 steps, give or take a few thousand, because sometimes I don't have my watch on me or I don't have my phone in the pocket. But my daily average is around 3,050. So, that's not that great. I should try to get about 10,000 in every day, but it's kind of tough when I sit at a desk and do AutoCAD all day. So, I don't know. We'll see. But, I can't wait for spring because, I'll be able to get out and walk between sessions at the gym, and I'll be able to get out and kick that flow tube. God, has that been on my mind lately. I cannot wait. Matter of fact, I drug them out of the fishing closet. Just check them over, just to look at them. I didn't even inflate them at all. But I just kind of looked around at them, and plus I have this 3D printer sitting here, which I'm going to wait a couple more episodes to talk to you about why I have a 3D printer, but it involves a certain sponsor. But anyway, there may be some flow tube stuff that I might design for myself, and I just really can't wait to get out in the flow tube. Just super nice weather, get that exercise in there. I need to find some sort of fitness tracker to put on my ankle that can be fully submerged in the water for like 6 hours. So I'm going to go... Once I'm done with this, I think I'm gonna go and find something like that on the old interwebs. But I'm really looking forward to summer. Ellen will be here. We're gonna kick the flow tubes. We're gonna fish like maniacs. We're gonna go camping. I mean, I've got a whole list of stuff that we're gonna do. So come hell or high water, we're gonna get it done. And hey, by the way, since I talk a lot about flow tube fishing, if anybody is remotely interested in flow tube fishing, how to get started, what equipment you need, where to get a flow tube, all that kind of stuff, please reach out to me on Instagram or email or TikTok, either one, any of those, hell, even Twitter if you need to. I got a Twitter page. I'm just a voyeur on Twitter. I just like to read. Sometimes there's just crazy ass dumpster fires on there. But please reach out to me if you're remotely interested in flow tube fishing, and hell, maybe I can even take you out sometime, and we can kick you in a flow tube. I know that a couple of years ago when I was really getting into it, I was talking a lot about it on here, and a handful of people messaged me and said they ended up buying a flow tube and they absolutely love it. They don't fish out of it exclusively, but there are times where they're just like, you know what, to hell with it. To hell with backing the boat down and all this kind of stuff. I want to go fish this little remote blue dot on this map. And they take their flow tube and they have fun with it. So please feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I mean, I'm no expert or nothing, but I've done it for quite a few years in my lifetime. So, yeah. But with that being said, I think we're going to wrap this sucker up. Again, please, if you're coming up to Bemidji to do some burbot fishing or some late ice pan fishing, stop in at Ridgetop Outdoors, pick up a few extra jigs and some wax worms and all that good stuff. And don't forget to load up. Definitely load up on some P3 plastics. That plastisol, man, it doesn't go bad as long as you keep it nice and oily. Yeah, that stuff will hold out. So, I like to buy a lot of ice fishing lures and stuff like that at the end of the year when stores don't really want to put them in a box to put out next year. You find some crazy deals. Same thing with my open water stuff. I like to buy that when the ice fishing's almost here. You can get some pretty killer deals that way. But yeah, so I think I'm going to wind this thing up, and you guys have a spectacular Monday. Keep it real out there. And remember, man, smile and say hi to somebody. It's always a good time. All right, man. Take care. Bye now.